Hello, hello, back we are. Today we are going to make the legs for our little manger. We're going to turn this, our plastic canvas, and two of these, 49, I think it's 49, don't quote me on it. These double crochet things we did, we're going to put these around this and make it look like this. Ooh, fancy. Yeah, so this has two ends. This is the beginning end, this is the ending end, and what I'm gonna do is double them over like this. But in order to secure these together, I'm gonna take the strings, and I'm gonna go through the stitches, and then I'm gonna tie them together in a knot so that they stay and they look pretty. So I find the end stitch, stick my hook through. You could do this with a needle. It actually, you know what? I'm gonna use a needle because that is gonna be way easier. But you have to have a little bit of patience if you don't have long tails. Thread the needle. Make sure you're on the same side as the stitch. That end, the end is the end that you're working with. Make sure it's along the same edge, not the opposite. Um, find the top stitch. I hope that you're able to see this. It's very dark thread, this number 5 cotton stuff is. Just pull it right through. And then hold that and thread the other side. And then find this other side of the stitch here. I think that's actually a chain, top of a chain 3 or the bottom of a chain 3. I'm not sure which it is. Pull it through. And then I just usually just take it and do like a little, almost like a square knot, I would say. So left over right and pull through, and then left over or right over left, and then pull the right tail through the hole there, and that makes a square knot. But you want that tight down so that it stays. So there we go. So now we have this doubled over and it's secured on the end and it's going to lay as flat as it will. We take this and put it over the diagonal. And when I say the diagonal, we're holding it as an X. So one of these is a diagonal, and I just happen to do this side first. So these are a little bit longer than the canvas. So you're going to have a little bit of overlap on each side. And in order to hold this in place, I like to use a binder clip. If you don't have any of these, you should totally go buy some because they're the stuff. They're amazing and they work well. But I'm just going to take that binder clip and I'm going to put it here. And if you'll notice the end of the canvas here, there's like a little bit, like a 1/4 inch overhang over here. And there's also a 1/4 inch overhang over here. And that's totally fine and normal and okay for our project. So I want the tails on my right because I'm right-handed. So I'm going to take a length, 16 inches or so of the pearl cotton, and I'm going to thread it through my needle. There we go. And I twist this just so that it kind of gives it a little bit of a memory here. So you can see that it's got a little place where the top of that was, where I twisted it at. And in case you're wondering why I do that, it just gives it a little bit of a memory of where it needs to hold on and hang out. So I've got this length of cotton, and I said I wanted to start on the end here. Let me get my view right here on the camera here. So I'm going to go through the tops of the stitches, and I'm just going to go straight across to the one across from me here. And I'm going to pull through until I have a tail that's almost, I'd say pretty close to this length, because I'm going to tie those two together. So there's that. And then I'm just going to go to the next stitch, just so this, it's kind of like a blanket stitch. You want to go through both sides of the stitch on both sides of the canvas. Now I'm not going through the canvas. The only time I'm going to go through the canvas is going to be when I get to the middle here. So I'm just going through the stitches and the canvas is underneath. So right now we're just making a pocket for this canvas to hang out in. Oh no, I pulled my... Dang it, stupid end. Alright. Oh yes, and in the background you're hearing Golden Girls, and I love this show. Makes me laugh. So I'm just going in each stitch because I want to make sure that this is good and closed. Look at that, I almost lost my end again. Sheesh. So we're just going through all these stitches. I don't remember how many it is, so don't ask. Just going in and out through all of them. When I get to the middle, I'll show you what we're doing, how we cope with that. I'm actually going to move this clip up a little bit. I'm going to move it to the other side now. So we're getting closer to the middle now. Just make sure you get both sides of those stitches when you're sewing. Take that stupid thing off. It's in the way. Alright. Alright. So my next stitch goes underneath both sides and then through the middle hole of the canvas and then out through this other side and through both sides of that stitch. I hope you can see that. So I have two sides of the stitch on here. I go through the middle hole. Dang it, the middle hole is down here. Middle hole of the canvas. And then back out through both sides of that stitch on the other side. Man, that was a pain. That was worse than I thought it was going to be. We'll pull all the way through, and you'll see this is going to kind of make an X like this, or a diagonal like this, and our next stitch is going to make a diagonal like this, because we're going to go through the same middle part of the canvas. So then I just give that a tug, and my next stitch goes through both sides of the stitch over here, through the middle of the canvas, and then back out through the other side under both sides of the stitch. And there we go. It'll come out that way. And you'll see it's making a diagonal on that side. And we'll just finish up the other side, and down at the end I'll show you what's next. I think I might need to adjust this camera angle a little bit, because I think I'm working more here than I am up there. So sorry for that. Oh no, I unthreaded myself. Stupid. Alright, we are almost to the end here, don't worry. There we go. Stop it. Alright, so I'm coming up to the end now. And I'm just gonna go kind of down through this stitch on the end here, just so I can come back up on the top, because I'm going to turn this around and make this my new top. So just pull this through. I don't want to deform the end there too much. And then this first stitch is where we'll go. Make sure we get both sides. There it is. And we'll get both sides of this other one adjacent, or opposite rather, not adjacent. All right, so this you'll kind of stretch your stitches a little bit if they're not very, I don't know, I have to stretch mine a little bit. So I grab the two on this side, and then I'll come and grab the two on the other side and come around. And I want that to be that loop to lay down on top, just like I did on the other side, like that. And we'll go all the way down through until we get to the middle, and we'll do the same thing. Whew, 10 is a lot. Alright, here we are back at the middle. And I'm going to go through the middle just like I did on the top side of that. And then I'm going to come out and go on the other side to the stitch. Have the X diagonal this way this time. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. Alright, so I reached the end and I just cut the tail the same length. I am going to tie knots here too. Alright, so I got that knotted off and I'm just going to nip the ends here. And then we're going to do the other one. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing, same exercise as we did the last time with the ends through the other end. Oh no, I twisted it. Going to pause. Alright, sorry, I had to pause because I twisted that. I'm not sure how I did that, but I got it twisted. And this should go. Sheesh. We'll just try this one again. Do this all over. Alright. I don't know why this is acting a fool.